Welcome to เล่าให้รู้ Channel, a channel that will let you know what you want to know.
Yes, that you send the topic that you want to know through our channel. We have answer for you.
Okay, let's we go to see what kind of topic has anyone said.
Oh, it's a good topic.
Yes, I think so. And do you know something about this student?
Yes, I will tell you. Classroom management refers to the wide variety of skills and techniques that teach you to keep students organized, orderly, focused, attentive, on task, and academically productive during a class. When classroom management strategies are executed effectively, teachers minimize the behavior that impede learning for both individual students and group of students, while maximizing the behavior that facilitate or enhance learning. The importance of effective classroom management to the teacher. The first one is help create a conducive learning environment. This is to say that your classroom management skill can help you to create a favorable environment that will make all your students have a sense of belongingness, so that they will feel free to explore more learning opportunities within the boundary and standard established by collaborative efforts between you and your student. For example, Daniel Glowman said that the responsive classroom approach creates an ideal environment for learning. Every teacher should know about it.
2. It helps avoid waste of time and energy. You need a proper classroom management strategy to guide all things that happen in the classroom within the day. It is often helpful to pre-plan your lesson taking into account. Classroom management is to set that classroom misbehaviors during the lesson will not limit you from helping your students to effectively grasp what you are going to teach.
Number 3. It helps boost the morale of the teacher. Having good classroom management skill help boost your morale. It makes you feel like a master of your job. A master who does not only bring out the best in his/her students, but also the lifestyle satisfaction and motivation from what you do.
The importance of effective classroom management to the students. The first one is create structure and achievable goal for students. Strategy for managing the classroom will always help and encourage you to establish a structure and smart goal for student behavior and carrying out lessons in your class.
2. It informs students about what is expected of them. An appropriate classroom management strategy will help your students understand what is expected of them in managing behaviors in the classroom. You and your students will always have to lay down rules, routines, and standards to govern behavior.
3. It increases task time and reduces classroom disruption. Good classroom management reduces disruption in class. Thus, teachers try to predict all the possible disruption and make plans to manage them appropriately.
How to effective your class? First, take time to build relationships with students. Get to know your students. What are their strengths? their challenge. What are they really into? Investing in them as individuals builds trust, and that is the key to successful classroom management. Second, have a solid plan. For example, Jennifer Gonzalez, in her blog Cult of Pedagogy, emphasized the importance of having a well-thought-out plan before your student event arrive on one day. In the first few days and weeks, teach your plan and excruciating detail. The more front-loading you do with your student, the more successful your year will be.
Third, have clear, reliable routines and procedures. When students know exactly what is expected of them on a daily basis, they feel safe and secure. It's our job as teachers to create a space that is predictable and productive. Create daily routines that make it easy for students to live up to your expectations.
Finally, keep your sense of humor. Managing a classroom can be a guide, so find ways to have a laugh instead of pulling your hair out. Kids will be a kids. After all, they are still learning, and humor helps us keep our perspective, so we can help our students along in the kindest and most effective way.
Wow, that's good. I would like to share my experience that I went to observe the teaching, learning, and classroom management techniques of the teacher at Tesaban School to everyone. For the teacher that I have observed teaching, her name is Mrs. Lamprey Fakkiao. She teaches junior high school students at Tesaban School. The teacher has supported the students to use ideas in learning English, and the teaching techniques used by teacher are singing activities. Teaching students to sing in English is a huge help. Students will both have fun, enjoyment, and will get used to using English accents without being awkward. And another activity that teacher use is games, in which playing English games can hold students' heart in full swing, and the game students play will change according to the content they learn.
For me, I went to observe the teaching, learning, and classroom management technique of the teachers at Wat Khao Wang School. The teacher that I have observed teaching, his name is Wachira Pesa'at. He teaches students in grade 3. In my mental teaching observation, I have seen many things. In his teaching there was only fun. Students pay attention to their study and still listen to every comment. An activity that he used in teaching is having students pair up and say question and answer in a room, which our students like very much, and students understand very well what they teach. In my opinion, he is very successful in teaching because when he does activities, students can use what they have learned in the activity completely. Therefore, thinking that he was successful in teaching.
And what about you, Juni?
I went to observe the teaching, learning, and classroom management technique of a teacher at the same school with Bank, but I went to observe the teaching of different teachers. The teacher that I have observed teaching, her name is Rukriya Yujan or Teacher Nok. She teaches junior high school students or มัธยมศึกษา too. For the observation of teaching and learning of Teacher Nok, she rarely used technology in teaching. She will be based on the content of the book, but she can motivate the student in her own way. That's it. She will create poem from the lesson and have students recite before entering the lesson every time or before starting study. And every time she will have a dictation exam about the vocabulary that had learned before start every class. It's encouraged and forced students to memorize words in a 2-in-1. In the method of teaching, she is very friendly to the student, even though she is very old age. She will bring up examples and things close to her students for teaching, to make them easier to understanding. Although sometimes she may not teach the own lesson plan due to the urgent problem, she has a very good workaround according to the situation. As a result, students love her, be active in their study, and want to learn even when the content is difficult. I consider it a very good thing.
What is the thing that you want to do, or how you will develop yourself to prepare for your future becoming good teachers?
For me, what I want to develop in myself, first of all is I want to be well versed in teaching and learning in order to teachers study correctly, and students can be able to apply what I teach properly. The second thing is that I want to develop myself in creating a pleasant classroom environment and not be bored when students study with me. And the last thing, I want to improve myself is to have more confidence in teaching.
And for me, there are many things I would like to improve myself. The first one is some of the management of my classes. It's not as good as expected. The second is English pronunciation. I think I still cannot pronounce the English clearly in some words. May make students remember the wrong things. And it will also confuse students in this section. I improve myself by listening to English often and study a lot about phonetics. And the last one is teaching technique of English. I have seen many other teachers teaching, and I think about how to teach the student as much as possible in what we teach. So, I want to encourage myself in this thing.
Wow, that's a good thing. I think so with both of you. And what about you, everyone? What do you want to do? And how you will develop yourself to prepare for your future becoming good teacher?
And finally, we leave it to think. Your classroom management skill can help you to create a favorable environment that will make all your students have a sense of belonging, so that they will feel free to explore more learning opportunities within the boundaries and standards established by collaborative effort between you and your student.
Practice and prepare your spiritual teacher. Believe in yourself. You can be a good teacher for sure.
For today, we all have to say goodbye and see you again in the next topic. Bye!